Dream Theater's Parasomnia. The return of Mike Portnoy is the whole point of this album. It's gotten a whole bunch of hype recently because the very influential drummer Mike Portnoy, who is a key member of Dream Theater throughout all their most formative music, left the group 13 years ago and finally was reconciled with the members and has come back into the fold. And all of Mike Portnoy's greatest hits are right here on this album. The tang 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 and all the fills that identifiably are Mike Portnoy that show up almost no matter where he plays are here on this album, and they're on full display because this is the playground in which he developed all that stuff. Now, I was always a little bit put off by the return of Mike Portnoy because I was not really in support of the way that Mac Mangione was just let go for the sake of this reunion. I'm not going to get why it would happen. It's a very big deal for Mike Portnoy to come back, and a lot of Dream Theater fans looked at Mike Mangione's work, and he was not Mike Portnoy. In many ways, he's a superior drummer to Mike Portnoy. I think he's far more creative in many ways, and I think that he should have really had an opportunity to find his way within Dream Theater. But honestly, Mike Portnoy's input, his musical input, his conceptual input, his playing is such an integral part of what made Dream Theater what it was for so long. It's difficult not to feel like this is a welcome return to home, and in many ways it is. This is Dream Theater, for better or for worse, exactly the way that you remember them. And on the one hand, you could say it's this festival of wacky rhythms and disorientating time signatures, but at the same time, you could also say it's this endless string of riffs with disorienting time signatures. It's always been Dream Theater's both strength and their weakness, because when they get away from writing songs, their music tends to just kind of be the riff of the week. And that shows up a little bit on this album. I'll be real with it. But there's also the moments in this album where they sink a little bit more into melodic work. I mean, I'm looking at the song Bend the Clock. And so they have the moments on this album where they break into that aspect of their playing that I think is their strength. But then you have the stuff in there that feels a little bit noodly, and that's always been a Dream Theater thing. And if you love that, it's here on this album, and it's as good as it's ever been for them. Also, a very strong concept of this album. One of the things that I think Dream Theater has always functioned super well with is to have an overarching concept of the album that holds the whole thing together. And if this concept of parasomnia, like experiences in and around the sleep state, is basically what the concept that holds this one together, I think that having those concepts on Dream Theater albums helps them, I think, to bring an album together despite some sort of like the disparate compositional and melodic things that they use to put things together.